Get strong.
Okay, let's look at multiplying times 6 and how can we remember some things and memorize multiplication times 6. We're going to go through 6 through 8 here, but let's look at sixes first. So we multiply times 6. There's a couple things we'll notice. We're going up by 6, right? But one thing you want to think about, and you look at the patterns for 6, they're all ending in an even number. One thing we want to think about is if we already have learned our 2's times tables and our 3's times tables and 4, we already know part of 6 already. So if we know that 6 times 2 or 2 times 6 is 12, then we already got that 6 times 2, right? And then 6 times 3 is 18 and 6 times 4 is 24 because we've already learned our 3's and our 2's and our 4's times tables. So we go to 5, we learned that 5 times 6 is 30. So we kind of know that already. And you have to teach your child that the order doesn't matter. When they learn it one way, they actually learn it the other way as well. So that commutative property applies when it comes to multiplication. The order doesn't matter. So now we're into a territory where it's kind of new to us. We have 6 times 6. That's kind of doubling 6, if you will. 6 times 6 from a square perspective. That's 36. Then 6 times 7 is 42. We're going up by 6. It's almost like you're just adding 6 to 36. You know it's going to end in 2 because 6 plus 6 is 12. So you know it's going to end in 2. And then we have 6 times 8. That's 48. We know that's going to end in 8 because 6 more to 42 is going to be 8. 48. Then we have 6 times 9 is 54. And then 6 times 6 obviously is going to be 60. That's an easy one for kids to remember when it comes to our tens times table. So as we're moving ahead with this, as we learn, we're learning more and more. So let's say we focus on the sevens now and we try to isolate what's going on with sevens. Because we've already learned our up through our sixes, we know a bunch of the sevens already. So we know 2 times 7 is 14 or 7 times 2 is 14. That's the same. 7 times 3 is 21. We learned that with our 3's, right? So we start to begin in familiar territory. 7 times 4 is 28. So we know half of these already. 7 times 5 is 35. And we just learned that 7 times 6 is 42. Whether we make it 6 times 7 or 7 times 6, that's 42. So now we just need to learn 7 times 7, which is 49, right? And we're going to go up 7 from that. 7 times 8 is 56, right? That's a number you just want to keep in your head and just kind of remember that. 7 times 8 or 8 times 7 is going to be 56. Then we're going to go to 7 times 9, that's 63, and it's going to be a special rule for 9s when we get to 9s that will help us. And then 7 times 10, all we got to do is add 0 to the 7, and we're at 70. So we just kind of have to remember these things and look at the patterns that we're seeing with the 7s as we go through it. And as we go up to the 8s and we focus on what's going to happen with our 8's times tables, we already know that we're going up by 8. We've already learned half of these as well, right? So 8 times 2 or 2 times 8 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. We learned it with our 3's. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. We learned this already. 8 times 6 is 48. And we just learned that 8 times 7 is 56. So if we're remembering this and we're building with our child step by step, we're really helping them learn their multiplications as they go on. It should get a little easier. Now 8 times 8, when we kind of square 8, 8 times 8 is 64. Then we're going to go up 8 from that. 8 times 9 is 72. And then 8 times 10 is going to be easy. We just add a 0 to the 8 and it's 80. So if you're going through this with your child, you're helping them learn already as they move along. These are some tips to help them know from the 6s through the 8s.
Get strong.